I shouldn't even be here making this video right now, but I'm not even gonna get frustrated at what's going on. I just want to bring light to it and maybe open the eyes to certain people, because right now it's a trend to hate on James Harden. It's a trend to make fun of James Harden. It's a trend to talk trash on his career in the NBA. And instead of me trying to defend that and come up with takes that counter that, try to disprove everything that I see on social media, I just want to sit back, see it for what it is, and really try to understand why do people dislike this person so much. What did James Harden do to cause everyone to enjoy when he has rocky moments in his career? Really think about it, because go back and look at his story. He's an underdog for the Thunder. He's a sixth man. He's a bench player. One of the first lefties back in the, not one of the first, but one of the first good lefties into the league. Like an elite lefty, probably the best left-handed player of all time. And whenever he has rocky moments, the media loves it. Now, for obvious reasons, I think it's just because it's going to get a lot of clicks because of his story, you know, how many times he's gotten traded, his trade requests. People love trade requests. So maybe it's not just James Harden personally. It would happen to any player that requests a lot of trades. But I mean, Damian Lillard requested a trade and he's having a hard time adapting to his new team. Does that mean he's a horrible player? No. I think today he went 2 for 16, 4 for 16, or 4 for 19 or something like that. It's a real thing. When you get traded to a team, especially if you are a superstar, there's going to be rocky moments. That being said, there hasn't even been rocky moments for James Harden. He shot over 50% for the Clippers so far. He's not even playing bad. He's actually playing pretty good. But since the Clippers are losing, and I'm not even a Clippers fan. I dislike the Clippers. I'm a Lakers fan. But since they are losing, all I see everywhere on social media is people bashing James Harden. It's like they're just singularly pointing out that it's James Harden's fault and nothing else. And I think it's just because of a couple things. Number one, it's a superstar loaded team. When that happens, people are mad at it. I think the Warriors, when they got Kevin Durant, or the Heat when they got LeBron James, created this type of stuff in the social media era of basketball. And whenever there's a star player that goes to a team, people get mad. People get worried. So whenever there's a chance to laugh at him, whenever there's a chance to get rid of that fear and worry within, it comes out a lot. Which is why the James Harden hate is very strong right now, because a lot of people were intimidated by this trade when it first happened. But now that the Clippers are losing games, I think all of this hate from social media, announcers, you got the Mavericks announcer, like he's a professional and he's really going in. I understand that maybe they're rivals and that's why, you know, but all going in on James Harden because they're struggling. And I think it's just fear. I think so much people fear this person right here. People fear James Harden because he is the weirdest thing that's happened in the NBA in the last decade or two. Think about it. He was a sixth man on the Thunder. not getting that much points, would never even dream of 20 points a game. And the Thunder just basically gave up on him. They didn't want to pay him. He goes to Houston, who is a really bad team. And he becomes one of the greatest scorers of all time. He changed the game of basketball. He's pulling step backs out, inventing the gather step that people have never even really seen before. He's scoring 50 a game every single night. He's having 60-point triple doubles. And I think he scared the league because he was doing it on a team that was not good. And I think all of the Harden hate stems from fear. And I think now that there is a time where things are not really going James Harden's way the last couple of years, a lot of people love to hate on him. Because there's one thing that I know and I see is whenever James Harden is doing great, it's very quiet out there. It's very quiet. But whenever he's struggling or whenever he's losing games, it's loud. And I think this is just because of fear. People fear James Harden because he is one of the greatest players of all time. He's a top 5 scorer in NBA history. And I think people are scared that that is going to happen again. Now, this Clippers situation is a little bit weird. Even the last couple of years with James Harden has been a little bit weird ever since he's left the Rockets. Because I could tell this noise affects him. All of the narratives with the playoffs and stuff of the playoff choker. This is the first and only time I'm going to even include one of the stupid narratives that are out about him. But the reason that happens is because he's had so many good playoff moments that people are scared of him. He almost took down the greatest team of all time by himself in the Golden State Warriors. And I know the Warriors technically greatest team of all time was the year before, but we all know that that was the greatest team of all time with Kevin Durant. LeBron was getting swept by them. And James Harden should have won that finals. We're not going to talk about what happened in that Game 7 with all the missed calls. But James Harden is a feared man. Fear the beard is real. And that is why the hate is so loud. You see, the Clippers are not bad because of James Harden. They are bad because they are trying to find a new identity. Now we go back to the 76ers. Why didn't the 76ers win? Game 7 versus the Clippers. Disappeared. Whatever. We go back to the Nets. He's trying to fit in with 2 superstars. And I think he kind of wanted all of the eyes off of him because he was so good. And I know this sounds crazy, but I really genuinely, deeply believe, and I'm not trolling, I seriously believe this, that James Harden dimmed his own light so he doesn't blind the rest of the league. Because he is still Rockets James Harden right now. I seen it in the playoffs last year. He's still Rockets James Harden. He's still capable of being that. But because he's playing with other superstars, because of all the narratives that have been placed on his name throughout the years with Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul, he feels like he should be taking a back seat because he doesn't want to make his teammates look bad. I know he came out with the statement that he's not a system player, he is the system. And that's the first real thing he said in 3-4 years since the Rockets. He needs to stop being so humble and really just tell the truth. James Harden could have a whole team built around him, and I thought that's what was going to happen in Philadelphia. And that's what should have happened in Philadelphia. But Number one, he dims his own light. He doesn't even want to be the number one option for a team again. For weird reasons. And I think a lot of that is just due with the media. He just wants to chill and play basketball and enjoy his life without all of this annoying media going around and narratives about him. So he dims his own light so he could just be at peace. Because if he was the number one option in Philadelphia and Embiid was the number two, they would have won the championship. It's as simple as that. I seen it in Game 7. All them post-ups for Embiid. Brooklyn. He should have been the number one option. If you have Kevin Durant in the corner and Kyrie Irving on the wing and you run the offense through James Harden, you win the championship. And for the Clippers, it's the same thing. If you have Paul George on the wing, Kawhi Leonard in the corner, maybe get a better center, the Clippers win the championship. But the problem is that won't ever happen. We won't ever see it because of one thing. He's dimming his light. He doesn't want to be the number one option. He's come out and said it. He doesn't want to be the number one option. He wants to fall back. He don't want to be the number one option no more. But he can be. And if he was, he would win a championship. If the Rockets would have done him right in that last year and actually built a team around him instead of trying to rebuild, he would have won a championship. But this is enough about what happened in the past. We're talking about right now with the Clippers. James Harden says he wants to go back to being a shooting guard and playing off the ball. Will this work? I don't know. He's going to be good in that role because he's done it before. But a lot of the new fans probably didn't watch in the early 2000s. They probably didn't even watch when he was on the Thunder. They probably don't even know he made the finals as that type of player. So they're not even realizing why they're following the hate. They're just doing it because it's a popular thing to do and it's a way to get clout. Because James Harden hasn't even been bad for the Clippers. He's actually been pretty solid for the Clippers. The Clippers are losing games, which is normal because they traded for another superstar. It's what happens. Look at Damian Lillard, fitting in with another superstar. It's a process. So enjoy the process while it lasts. Because it's not going to be like this forever. So I'm just making this video to not try to defend all the hate because soon the hate will be gone. And it won't be cheering. It won't be, wow, look what he's doing. It'll just be quiet when he's playing good. Because that's how it always is for James Harden.